Good morning, everybody. Today our lesson will be the overview of Unit 1. So we're basically, Unit 2, sorry. At Unit 2, we are at the consequences of fraud. So we're going to talk about that. And for listening and speaking, we're going to talk about avoiding identity theft. So we're going to do a Unit 2 overview today. I'm going to explain to you what your projects are for this unit, for your writing project, for your journal, your speaking project, for your log, which is your speaking test, and everything that you need to do. I also uploaded several things already, but maybe I haven't copied it into your class, but today I will make sure that everything gets uploaded into your class. So in Moodle, so you can just access the information. So what I will upload is the unit schedule, the lesson schedule for Unit 2. I will upload a PowerPoint PPT, a summary, and also the information or the dates as to when you're going to have your test, your unit test, and you have to submit your homework. Okay. For your progress, your own progress for your work, you got to keep track of your own progress, because your homework will not be pasted one by one in Moodle, right? So you got to really keep track of your own homework, whether you've done it already. You got to write that down. So for this unit, I'm not going to keep track for you. So make sure you make a list in Moodle. I will write down, for example, for the ebook listening and speaking, which activities you have to do, but you cannot, you can only tick it off as in one. So for example, ebook listening and speaking, you can just mark it later on that you did all that, but you can't mark it one by one. So you need to keep track by yourself. But I do write down which activities are in your listening and speaking and which ones are in reading and writing per section. So that would be helpful for you. Okay, but you got to keep your own track. So make sure that you write it down, or that you have done it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do now is I'd like you to look with me at our schedule. Here you see our Unit 2 schedule. So this is the week we're in right now. Remember, this is the same as in Unit 1 last time. Everything that's yellow is the pacing for your project. So for your speaking project and your writing project, it's important that you follow this. If you follow all this, you pace gradually through all the material, and by the time that you have to submit everything, you're basically already done, right? So the yellow stands for your project. So it means that step 1 for this week is that you're gonna do a brainstorm on your for your log, which is your speaking test. You're gonna brainstorm on a topic and ideas for your speaking test, and brainstorm for an idea for your writing, your paragraph. So that is the focus of this week. Yeah. And your pre-study for this week will be watching the video. I already sent a video to you before your Galungan holiday. I did that faster because, well, there might be some of you who want to work ahead. For those who haven't done it yet, no problem. You can do it this week. It is for next week's Zoom meeting. So watch the video of Listening 1, Unit 2, and do the activities in your textbook for listening and speaking, LNS, yeah? But that is necessary to do this week, so you're prepared and ready for next week, okay? So that's your pre-study. Our study and review will be during our Zoom meeting, so we will then next week do Listening 1. And we will also do a video comprehension. You get a video or an audio, and you got to listen to that and then answer questions, okay? Awesome. Okay. So today, what I want to go through is, your lesson schedule, and then explain the task for your writing and your writing project and speaking project. And then I will make groups though. I will make sure, because For our speaking this time, you got to work virtually in groups. So not meeting, but virtually. Yeah, virtual group work. And yeah, and some extra information on how to do your project. So basically, if you pace through the schedule, you can see every week what your focus is for post-study, pre-study, study and review, and post-study. Okay, so if you just pace through this as I lined it out for you, it's just very handy because you will end up, here you see, in week 8, when you are entering November, you basically have everything done already. So you don't have to go, stress the day before, like, oh, I haven't done my homework. No, because you kind of have done everything. But nonetheless, if you choose to use a different system, by all means, that's fine. But as long as I get your work on time. Now, for those who haven't finished their homework for Unit 1 then, not yet, you should do it really fast, because if you compile everything together, it will be too much. So make sure that Unit 1 is no issue anymore. Bye-bye, udah lewat. Yeah, we're not going to focus on Unit 2. So make sure. If there are still components of Unit 1 that you're confused about, you can just ask me, okay? Because normally in class we also do post-test review, unit test review, and we just don't have the time right now to do all that. So you can just freely ask me. Yeah. Okay, as you see here, for 10 IPS, yeah, so Tuesday, the 10th of November, that is the day where you will have your Unit 2 test for listening and speaking, and also for reading and writing. I will announce that also in Moodle, so you will know. You will have to, it's actually, you're not submitting your ebook activities, you basically have just done them. So you just must make sure that by the 9th of November, no, you're the 10th of November, right? The 10th of November, you have already done all your ebook activities for listening and speaking, and also reading and writing. You will then, this date, have your unit test, and you will also submit your log and submit your journal. And as we did this month, you have to place your speaking tests link inside your log, like you did this time. Now, I haven't checked your work yet, haven't gotten around to it yet, and I will do soon enough, and then I will give a review to it, what you did wrong. So look at the notes that I make, so you can do better for Unit 2. You know what to fix, right? And then for make sure that your speaking is a shared link. Yeah, like anyone with this link can access. Or make sure, if you did it through your phone, that your link sharing is on, because if not, I cannot access. So once I open it and I cannot access it, I will let you know. You have to resend it or open the link. Yeah. Okay, so that's then for your writing. Your journal, of course, you'll only write a paragraph. Yeah, only one. So for writing for this this unit, and this is the last unit for this semester. We only do 2 units in a semester. You will do a descriptive paragraph. So you're going to do descriptive writing, and that's what we're going to talk about a bit today. What is descriptive writing and how do we do it? Okay. And for your speaking test, you're going to create and perform a role play about identity theft. So we're talking about fraud, fraud and theft. It's like when people scam and steal things. So we're going to talk about that. So you might think, how am I going to do perform a role play virtually? Well, you can just try the what is that? Record separately and then compile it all to one video. How you do it is up to you, but you are not meeting. You're doing this virtual. It's going to be a virtual role play. It's going to be fun. So there are many ways how you can do it. Either maybe through any media, that's fine, or you just record it separately and compile it to one video. That is very possible. Some of my students in grade 12 did that also in the last semester. Okay. So think about it, because you might need some time. You have like 8 weeks or 7 weeks to do this. So you better plan ahead. Don't do it last minute. Yeah. Okay. So first things first, I think I'm going to jump into looking first at, well, let's go back to this one. Let's just look at the page where we can see what basically your project is going to be like. So that would be on page 41. You guys can flip your pages to page 41. Poof, there we go. Okay, you all are lucky because you only write a paragraph. You're not writing an essay, so no complaints. No complaints. Okay, in this unit you read about different kinds of frauds, impersonation, check fraud, identity theft, all sorts of theft and fraud. Now you're going to write a paragraph describing an experience with fraud. Maybe your experience about fraud or that of someone you know. That of someone you know. So yeah. So it is a descriptive paragraph about an experience. So we're going to focus on an experience. Now, what is identical and important for you to understand is that where'd my page go? That descriptive writing can be either about a person, a place, or an object, but can also be about an experience or an event. So your descriptive writing, your paragraph is about an experience. So your experience, either your experience with fraud or that of someone you know. So you're going to write about a experience. You have to use the vocabulary and grammar from the unit, and you already know, I showed you multiple times in unit 1, that you can find that on page at the back of your textbook, and in this case it's page 206, where you can see your word list of unit 2. So you can just flip your pages and go through there and see that. And also for the grammar, it's there also. So use the vocab and grammar from this unit, okay? Yeah, so in this case, again, just like we did in unit 1, you will brainstorm first. And that's your focus for this week. Brainstorm first on, hey, what topic do I want to use? What do I want to talk about? Am I going to talk about an experience I had with fraud, or am I going to talk about someone else? So this experience with fraud, that's fine. So come up with ideas. And then next week, we're going to do research on that. We're going to use our brainstorm and ideas that we've gotten to get sources for that. And maybe by doing the research, you even will add other ideas. Now you might think, but this is an experience. Like, why do I need to do research? Now, this is the thing you need to understand. When you do research, you do not only do research to get information that you can use in your writing. Yeah, you do that, you could do that. But in this case, you're talking about an experience, right? So you're probably not going to use what you find. But it is also very important that you do research and that the information you get, you use to build background knowledge. So basically, you can research something like, what is fraud? What types of fraud are there? Maybe you want to read through testimonials of people who've had an experience with fraud. And hey, why don't you research what is descriptive writing? How do I write a descriptive paragraph? So I want to see that you're actively trying to understand the type of writing you have to do, and also the topic, what the topic is all about. And from there, you can have a broader understanding. And you know what? Your writing will be far better if you understand about it rather than not. Okay? Yeah, so that's what you do, and then you have your brainstorms. You could, now these are just some questions that can help you, like what happened, what made it a fraud, what were the consequences, and how did you or the other person feel after this experience, and why. Basically, guys, if you put these points in your paragraph, you kind of got it covered. That's cool, right? Got that out there. Now, here it says when you describe an experience, you are telling a story about something that happened to you or someone else, right? So this is an example. Read the paragraph, and then you can, you would have to answer the questions. You would have to make this, but this is really an example of a descriptive paragraph. And then you see it refers to a topic sentence. Basically, same thing as what we did last unit. Yeah, topic sentence, supporting sentences, which are the main points of details, and you got your concluding sentence, right? And so basically, this paces through it to give you an idea. So this is, you're writing a paragraph to tell a story. So you give your topic sentence, which introduces the topic and the purpose. In this case, my friend, when my friend went to a car repair service, it was the worst experience of his life. So it was about a car repair, and the purpose is to tell the story that it was a bad event. And the first main point probably is, what happens first, and then the second main point, what happens next, and then the third main point, what happened after that, and then you got your concluding sentence to just round it all up, right? Like that, yeah. So you kind of already did this, and here are practices that you would have to make. Just go through the videos I make for you and do the activities while watching the video. And then, of course, you got your final draft checklist. We love those because you're going to check off what you've done already. So brainstorm, yeah. Then with your brainstorm, do your research to get background information, understanding about the topic and the type of writing. Then make your outline in your journal. When you have done your outline, you're gonna write your paragraph according to your outline. And then if you wanna let someone proofread it, a friend or me or whoever, that's totally fine. And then you do your checklist, you know? You're gonna go like, okay, is your topic sentence clear focus or supporting details related to the topic sentence? Does your paragraph clearly describe what happens in the experience? Is the concluding sentence explain what happened at the end? Are the simple past and past progressive verbs used correctly? Do you use new vocab from the unit? And do you use grammar from the unit? And is your paragraph formatted correctly? Formatted correctly means in organization, topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence. Okay, a real quick note on the tense. Simple past and past progressive. If you go to your ebook, I think I put it in the ebook for reading and writing, not the ebook for listening and speaking, reading and writing. At the beginning of the table of contents, you can see that there is extra information. And when you go there, you can see a table of all the verb tenses I made for you. So basically, if you're confused, oh, Sylvia, I forgot what is the simple present and what is the past perfect and all that, because they're kind of a lot. So you might be confused, yeah? So you can just look it up and then know, yeah? So, by the way, why would we use the simple past? Anyone? Why would we use the simple past or the past progressive? Why the past? Why not the present? Why not the future? Y'all don't want to talk? I'm going to spin my wheel of magical names. Okay, Michael Ferdinand, are you here with me? Y'all wait, yeah? If you do not respond to me, you're going down as absent. And yes, I will report it. Sylvie has like a magic wand there. Okay, yeah. So why is by the way, good morning. Why is the simple past used? Why not the present? Why not the future? Why the past tense?
Because already done.
Very good. Already happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Michael. Yeah, it's already done. It's past. So yeah, we use the past tense. But as you look at the grid that I made for you, you can see there are a lot of different types of past tenses. So you have the simple past, past continuous, past perfect. Continuous is progressive, by the way, yeah? So there are a lot of different types of past tenses. So you can use all of them because it already happened. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Any questions on this so far? No, yeah? Today is a little bit more focused on giving you information, yeah? Patience, yes, guys. Because I'm going to give you input. But you can just cut me off by asking, yeah? You don't have to wait for me to finish. You just go like, miss, I don't get it. Okay, here's the other book. So this one is the one for listening and speaking. Later on, I'm going to explain, I give you a PPT on descriptive writing, yeah? Okay, so as I stated before, that for listening and speaking, you're going to do a virtual role play, yeah? Virtual role play. Isn't that something? Look at the picture here. We can see this guy, basically, he's stealing someone's wallet, right? Yeah. And in the other one just now, we also saw something that we saw a guy also stealing a wallet, but from the pocket of someone just now. And now we see someone stealing the wallet from someone's bag. So basically that is our whole focus on the topic. I don't know, maybe you guys have had an experience with fraud. I've had it before. It's not nice. You feel really sad, basically. Okay, I'm gonna flip first to the pages to show you what your project is like. So let's go to page 46. I know that you have quite a lot of time, but that doesn't mean that you should postpone everything, because the problem is I'm talking about it right now, and if you don't start with it, then you forget, yeah? So here it says a role play is a short performance, which brings a certain story. You've got actors, yeah, you've got a storyline, you've got, of course, you've got dialogue. So the actors take on roles, and you become a character and act out a situation. Often the situations are similar to experiences that people might have in real life. So it's like a reenactment. Do you know that? Sometimes on TV they have reenactment when they're acting something that really has happened, but they're not really using the actual people, but they're using actors. Yeah. So you're going to create and perform a role play about identity theft. So you're just going to portray a situation where someone's identity is stolen and what happens. Yeah. So you can work in a group of three. You follow the steps, try to use the vocabulary and grammar and pronunciation and listening and speaking skills that you've learned in this unit. Yeah, all of that together. Now here it is spaced out for you already. It shows you. You have step one, choose a situation for the role play. So you got to choose first. So here are some ideas, but if, for example, you come up with another idea that's totally cool. For instance, filing a police report, receiving a bill from a department store, and suddenly it says like, hey, you bought a diamond ring, and dude, I didn't do that. Calling a credit card company about a theft, or your own idea. So you decide on the place, you decide on the characters and the story. Okay, these are the three things you got to decide on. So this actually is your brainstorming right here. Okay, guys. So place, characters, and story, and then you could choose from the following ideas. Like the place could be the police station, department store, and phone. Your own idea. Characters. Now think about age, personality, and feelings. Could be the victim, the police officer, store employee, identity thief, or whatever. And the story, think about the background, like what happened before the role play starts, and the plot, what happens during the role play. And then when you, those are things, that's your brainstorm. So you can basically come up with that this week. And then you create the role play. That would be starting maybe next week or so, or 2 weeks from now. I forgot the schedule. Create the role play, act like your character, and speak naturally. Practice the role play several times, and then last is you perform your role play for the class. So remember, in your log, there is this part which has an outline, a speaking outline, right? Now, last time in your speaking outline, you did hook, hoto, yeah, hook, overview, topic and object, and then main point, and then you had your ending. But now, because it's a role play, I will give you an example. Your outline is a little bit different. Your outline will be the dialogue. So remember that your speaking outline will be your dialogue. Write that down. You have to remember that. So you don't use the HOT, main point, detail, main point, detail. No, you use the dialogue. So name, colon, and then the dialogue. Okay? So I will give you an example of that. When I upload the instruction, in the instructions, I will give you an example of that. Yeah? So you can see how to do it. Awesome. Yeah,
Miss,
yeah?
what do we need to write down again?
Hmm?
What do we need to write down yang tadi?
Oh, you need to make sure that for your speaking outline, you're not gonna use the same outline as you did last unit, because last unit was a very different speaking test. You presented something, right? So this time for in your log, in the part of the speaking outline, what you're gonna paste there is the dialogue. So everybody makes his or her own log, okay? And you So that means that your outline is the same as your friends, is your group. You all have the same dialogue in it. You also use the same sources. And you also have the same link for the speaking test because you do it together, right? But everybody individually submits the speaking test in the log and the log to me, okay? So you individually submit it, but you've made it in a group. Does that make sense? And here are also some ideas. Yeah, you can just pick whatever you think is good, yeah?
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Yeah, you're welcome. If along the way you go like, oh my goodness, this is not clear, you know, you can just ask, or in the next Zoom meeting next week. You know, what is cool is to prep, you know, some questions. That's why you should not wait doing this project or prepping this project like a week before, because then you've already forgotten an explanation and you don't have enough time. It's a project, so it needs time. So if you, for example, this week start to do your brainstorm for your paragraph and for your role play, and for certain you will have questions, and then just write those questions down, and you can ask them during our Zoom meeting, or you can just ask me. But doing it in a Zoom meeting is actually really good because then everybody can listen in to what you're asking, because basically the questions one of you has, everybody probably has. Yeah, that would be a way to do it. So real quick, I want to give you an idea of what descriptive writing actually is. You can access this by yourself. So what is most important is that here it says spatial order. For descriptive writing, we use an order of organization. I've made for you a summary of descriptive writing. When you access that one, let me do that first to just jump here and there to show you. Where did I put that? And it doesn't show. Okay, give me a sec. I'm gonna show that to you. Sharing first. Man. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you something else first. I think you need to see this first. Okay, I'm going to show you the summary first. That one is the one you will also access. Yeah. Here we go. So this is about descriptive writing. As you can see here, the acronym GPFDO, yeah? So we mostly go by this acronym to just understand how the type of writing is organized, yeah? So G goes for genre, P for purpose, F for focus, D for devices, O for organizational patterns. So these are components you always need to know for every type of writing. So if you're looking at descriptive writing, the purpose is definitely to describe. The focus of descriptive writing is characteristics. So in descriptive writing, you're really trying to point out all the components of an object, of a person, of a situation. So remember, as I said, descriptive writing describes people, places, objects, events, and experiences. Okay, it is different from Tunas. Please do not compare. Different. Yeah. So it has that focus of description. Now, the devices that we use for descriptive writing are called figurative language, figurative devices. So those are mostly, if we look at figurative language here, I made a summary for you. You see the building of imagery, and imagery means that you have a visual picture. You have this mind picture. Even though you don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't smell it, you don't taste it, you don't touch it, you can see it in your head. If you can do that, you write amazingly. Yeah, so imagery is the building of an image in your head, and we do that by using figurative language. Now, figurative language is metaphors, similes, hyperbole, symbols, personification, a sonnet, a whole lot of figurative language, and I believe that you guys have gotten that in Bahasa Indonesia as well. Another way to build imagery is the usage of sensory details. Sensory details, as the word sensory says, appeal to your senses. So they appeal to your sight, to your hearing, your smell, your taste, your touch. Now, how do we create this? We use multiple adjectives. Multiple adjectives create the image of sight, the image of sound, the image of smell, the image of taste and touch. So this one is a very good example. This should actually be more here, yeah. Something, so we've got here the acronym OSACM. That's a shorter form of the multiple adjectives which would go. And O stands for opinion, S for size, A for age, C stands for color, and M stands for material. Let me put it underneath, yeah. So you see here, it is really good for you to memorize acronyms because it's easier to memorize that rather than all these words. It's like your own personal formula, yeah? Yeah. So the thing here is, though, you need to remember this. When you use adjectives from these different categories, don't have to use all of them, from several. For example, if I say the delicious big red apple. So we've got opinion, delicious, we've got size, big, we've got color, red, and we've got material. So there's 4 out of 5. If I use an adjective from different categories, I do not use a comma. Okay, you've got to remember that. But I can also use adjectives from one category. I can, for example, go only with opinion, delicious, juicy, amazing, awesome apple. It's all my opinion. It's all coming from one category, meaning that I have to use commas. I will repeat that again throughout these coming 7 weeks, okay? So here we have a longer version, QOSTASCOM, COSTASCOM, yeah? So this is a bit more complete. So quantity, opinion, size, temperature, age, shape, color, origin, and material. And it gotta be in the same order. That's why the order is important. You gotta hold the same order, yeah? So spatial order is for people, places, and objects. Now, if we're describing events and experiences, we're talking about chronological order. Now, what is this? Go back to spatial order. Spatial order has the word space. Everything connected to space. If I want to describe, for example, my water bottle, I'm confused where to start. So I need to come up with an organizational pattern. So I can go from top to bottom or bottom to top. I could start to explain my bottle from the outside to the inside or inside to the outside. I can describe something, for example, your bedroom. If you want to explain your bedroom, you can start clockwise, following the clock, or counterclockwise, the other way around. So you go around. You can also explain something from front to back. Let's say I want to describe my house. So I start from the front with the front yard, the house, and then the backyard. Front to back or back to front. That is spatial order, where you decide before you start writing how you're going to approach or explain, describe that object or person or place. Now, when we're talking about an experience or an event, this is what you're going to do, right? An experience. We cannot use spatial order. Yeah, an experience is something that has happened in stages. So we use sequence order. So that is called chronological order, like a story. Yeah, so you go from the first step, second step, following, next, finally. That's what we can also call time order or sequence order. Yeah. So you're going to use the chronological order, yeah? Mind that, please. Yeah. So your genre, think about it, is descriptive. Your register is still, I think, semi-formal writing. And your audience is for your peers, your age group, yeah? And it's to describe, yeah. So this is important for you. I will upload this as well, so you will have that as well, yeah? Okay, now I go back to my slide. So here we have space order. So this is spatial order, what I talked about, shows how people and objects are arranged in a space or a scene. A description can be organized spatially in several ways. So from top to bottom, outside, inside, left to right, near to far, inside, outside, or the reverse of any of these, right? So that's what I said just now. But we use this to describe people, places, and things, objects. We do not use this to describe experiences or events. For that, you would use chronological order. This is super big here. So we see here in Mr. Adams' classroom, we see a lot of interesting things. So this is the introductory. This is the topic sentence, right? So it's Adam's classroom. We see a lot of interesting things. Now, to the left of the class, you see that? That's the spatial order. We see 10 posters in the colors of the rainbow. To the right, in the back, in front of the class. So this basically shows the order, yeah? Here you have the same thing, topic sentence, and then it shows. You can read through this yourself. These are examples, right? Now, prepositions for descriptive writing are important. Now, if you're talking about a place, you want to use prepositions in front of, in the back, behind, on top. Those are prepositions of place. Yeah, to the right, to the left, around, between. Those are also important. So the topic sentence of a descriptive paragraph should name the topic, right? The controlling idea should give the overall impression of the place you're describing. So a topic sentence always has the topic and the controlling idea, which we can call the main idea, or we can also call the purpose. Like my bedroom is my refuge from the outside world. Bedroom is the topic and the refuge is what it is about. Yeah. So here you have a topic sentence. The park near my house is full of activity on a sunny weekend afternoon, and you can come up with your main point 1, main point 2, main point 3, and all that. Just pacing fast. Here you have a topic sentence. My mother's kitchen is not very big, but it is warm and comfortable. And now I live far away, but I often think about my mother's kitchen is the concluding sentence. So basically here go the main points, 1, 2, 3, which are the development, the description. On the left, to the right, in the left, on the chairs, you see that? So these red phrases are the spatial order. So write the description of a place. You can think about place, what you're doing. Here it also says you can think about colors, sounds, smells, all that. Describing people is different. Age, hair, color, length, facial features, body, personality. There's a whole lot that comes around when describing people. So this is an example of that. Yeah. An example of a description of Jack Collins. Jack Collins is the most amazing person I've ever met. So you have, so in a, here you have an example, my grandfather with the topic sentence and concluding sentence. You can just go through this yourself, yeah? Yeah, and then using the adjectives. So using multiple adjectives, they describe nouns, right? So writers use the adjectives to give readers a more complete picture of people, places, and things. So I take care of my expensive old bicycle. See, we've got expensive, we've got old, we've got bicycle. So this is the noun, and these are the adjectives. 2 adjectives about it. And the more you use, here it says delicate white flowers. The more you use, the more descriptive you are. The more adjectives you use, the more people can create a mental picture. So remember that you use adjectives for sight, for sound, for smell, for taste, for touch. Yeah. And you can use figurative language. You can use a simile, a metaphor. You know, simile, when you compare things with using like and as. Metaphors also compare things, but do not use like and as. You can also use a hyperbole, like exaggerating things. Here it goes back to the ordering of the adjectives. Nice, new, dirty, old, black. So opinion, fact. Yeah. This is the list I gave in the summary for you, yeah? So if you're confused, you can go back here to look at it. So a wooden, beautiful square, a golden, unusual, a new woolen, yeah? So there is an order that you have to keep up. These are examples. Yeah? Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna bring this one up. Okay. Great. So, and one more quickly, showing you this one is similar. It's just also a good way for you to realize and understand what I'm talking about. So here you see a picture of a little bridge, right? And basically, what is it telling us? Yeah. So you see the picture and you have description A and B. So if you look at this picture closely, there's a whole lot that you're seeing. This is one scene which is really zoomed into. What is it you're seeing? So you could say, for example, beyond the bridge is an old log. That's it. Okay, so we've got the bridge and then we've got lock. That's about it. But you could also say beyond the low wooden bridge. So we're adding two adjectives, right? The low wooden bridge, the old lock sleeps, forgotten and motionless, as if trapped by the strange haunting trees that surround it. What are you saying? Now this is descriptive writing, people. You add things. Now we're gonna look at what is added so you understand. Yeah, which one do you like best? Well, the first one is very simple, right? The second one is very descriptive. So here the writer has taken a simple description and added. So let's look at it. Now, beyond the low wooden bridge, the old log sleeps. So we've got low wooden bridge. There you have your adjectives. The old log sleeps. What would that be? And the log sleep or not? No. So the adjective low, wooden, and old. And then we've got personification. Now, guys, personification is when human traits are given to unhuman things. So, for example, the table can talk, or the table feels joyful. The clouds are angry. So that is like a human characteristics, or yeah, that is given to something that is not human. Right? That's why it's called personification. And in the word for that, you can see person. You see that? Awesome. So sleeps. That's cool. So because it shows that it's old, it's been there like for ages, like it's still there. It shows deeper meaning, and that's what we call figurative language. And that's where you got your figurative language from. Yeah. One more example. The writer has also used the word haunting. Haunting is mysterious, it's frightening. So with this word, the writer has introduced a sense of mystery. That's where you create a mood. You know, it's not just like, okay, there's a bridge, there's a lock, okay, we're done. No, it's haunting. So that gives you a little bit more, a more intense feeling. Beyond the low wooden bridge, the old log sleeps, forgotten and motionless, as if trapped by the strange haunting trees that surround it. So the trees are haunting the bridge. Their branches, look at the red one, their branches are like a tall giant's fine fingers grasping at the walls. So what has the writer used right now? What is this? Their branches are like a tall giant's fine fingers grasping at the walls. I mentioned it just now. Simile, yeah? Like, so when you're comparing something with something else, you look like an S, you're using simile. And also alliteration. What is that, Miss Sylvie? You all have Google. You can look it up. Alliteration, fine fingers. That's a words with the same beginning. So alliterations are words that also start with the same consonant. So fine fingers is FF. Assonance is where the sound is the same. The sound of the words in order are the same sounds. But here in this case with alliteration, the same letters, beginning letters, yeah? So it's like building a wall. You need to use the right building blocks. So we have some. So we use adjectives. We use personification. What was that again? You can tell me? Let's review this. Adjectives. What are adjectives? My wheel. Where's my wheel? Oh. Okay. Carissa Maharani, are you tuning in? Carissa, can you answer that? What are adjectives?
Yeah, miss.
Hi, can you tell me what are adjectives?
Adjectives. Adjective is like.
What does it describe?
Adjective. Adjective describe
Do you know in Bahasa?
Kata sifat.
Yeah. So what does it describe? What does that kind of word describe? Does it describe an action or an object or a person, like a noun?
Is it an object?
Very good. It describes an object. It describes a noun. Good. Thank you. Personification. Okay. Raiden, Natanik, you're the lucky one. Tell me, what's personification, man? Hello. Natanik, you're not in? Oh, okay. Okay, we go to Shannon. Shannon, can you tell me what personification is? Shannon? Oh. Okay. Going to Kalista. Good morning, Kalista. Kalista. Silence is real. Ivana? Ivana Aprilia?
Okay, yes, Miss.
Shannon, can you tell me what personification is?
Yes, Miss.
Hi. What's personification?
I think it's when you make an object as if when you treat them, not treat, like you describe an object as if it's a human being.
Very good. Yeah. Awesome. That's exactly what you do. You give them human traits. The talking teapot. Okay, alliteration. Thank you so much. We go to Sabrina. No, Sabrina. Abraham. Theodore. Abraham, are you in?
Yes, Miss.
Oh, I was almost thinking you're not here. Okay, Mr. Theo, can you tell me what alliteration is? You're smart. You got a phone. Just Google it. That's okay. What is alliteration?
Alliteration is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words.
Thank you. Good. See, guys, I'm not expecting you to know all of this. I'm expecting you to have the initiative to look for it. You got a phone, maybe even have a laptop, you can Google everything, yeah? So trying to respond, I do not even expect you to answer correctly, as long as you try, that's all that matters, yeah? So that was correct, so it's always the first letter. So that is, we'll see the consonants, yeah? A repetition of that. Very good. Okay, one more. I'm gonna ask Joyce. Joyce, are you here this morning? Can you tell me what a simile is?
Yes. I think it's some sort of speech, like a figure of speech.
This figurative speech, it is a comparison, yeah? So it's a comparison between two things, and its identity lies in the two words that you use, like, as. Like and as is used like that. Yeah? Let's say someone got really angry. She barks like a dog. You're not saying that she is a dog. You're just saying that her anger is expressed like the barking of a dog. Loud and clear, you know? So we use like and as. And so metaphor is also a comparison, but you do not use like and as. So these are just some examples. Thank you, Joyce. Awesome. All right, so basically, yeah, here it says you have to make a mind map. So do your brainstorm however you like it. That's up to you, how you like to do your brainstorm. Even remember to use the building blocks, use adjectives, personification, alliteration, and similes. You can also use a metaphor. You can also use a sonnet. You can just Google it. Just go to figurative language, you know, or literate devices. That's what you can Google as well, literate devices, and then you automatically come to the whole list, and then you can choose what you want to do. And if you forgot, you'll just Google it again. Okay, cool. Now that's all for today. There's a lot of information. I know normally we do a lot more discussion. Just wanted to make sure you get everything. So that's your writing. Your writing project is your descriptive paragraph. What you describe an experience, remember to use chronological order, okay? So you're doing sequence words, steps, first, then, after that, finally. Okay, and for your speaking project, you're going to do virtual role play. Figure that one out. Follow the steps in your book. That's about it. And this week, you should start with your brainstorm. Okay, the group for your role play I will make and I will let you know. Are there any questions?
Excuse me, Miss.
Yeah.
Would you please share the PPT on the group?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to place that in your, wait, I'm going to place that in Moodle. Gonna place it there. Yeah. So everything from your unit schedule to the PPT and the summary, everything I showed you today you will be able to access all of that. Yeah, I will give all of that. So you can just read it again. That's why I told you just reread it again. Yeah. Anything else?
Miss.
Yes.
So we're only doing a group project for the role play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only for the speaking, correct.
Okay.
And the topics are different, so this time you can't use the same topic, yeah.
Okay.
It is different, yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, and if you guys still have other questions, remember, you can just ask, but not at 11 at night, yeah.
Miss.
Yeah.
How about the paragraph that you mentioned, the one from the reading and writing book, page 41?
Yeah. What about it?
When do we need to submit it again?
Oh, I will give that announcement. I haven't given you the announcement yet, but yeah, I will give you the announcement. You will also be able to access the unit schedule, so you can just look at all that. And the unit schedule already has the dates and even the time when you have to upload things. You can also access that through Moodle, yeah? So anyways, you will have that. So that will be in the week of the 9th of November.
Okay, so like the first thing that we need to do right now is the role play.
You can work on both at the same time.
Oh, okay.
How you want to arrange your planning is up to you, but you can also follow the planning I made for you, and that one is in the unit schedule, so you can just follow that. If that helps.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. Anyone else? No? Okay then. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye, everyone.